Darling people, good afternoon and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope this is going well. Someone's just mentioned Delham Road Wi-Fi. I may be sketchy. As you can see, I'm in a totally different location to where I normally are. Hopefully, it holds out. I do apologise if it doesn't. Please keep me posted. Someone's just mentioned Delham Road Wi-Fi. Hopefully, you don't mean me. Is it okay? Hopefully, I hope. But listen, what a presser! That was lit. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, what a presser. All the best news that we could hope for. Sorry about the Anglo coffee teas and all that sort of stuff. I do apologise, but I'm at my girlfriend's, and you're just gonna have to make do. No, not you. You're fine. Did it lag on the thing? Yeah, okay. So it's fine. It's Halifax, bit grainy. How's the sound? I'm using my AirPods. I hope it sounds all right. Look, folks, what a presser. I Mecca's a brew. Listen, I'm absolutely buzzing. I can't lie to you. Me and the lads, big up to the LWO, the Leeds World Order. Jack's a new addition in there, bringing in like Sting. You know what I mean? Myself, Lockie, and Andrea, and now Jack's in there. He's Sting coming into the LWO. But what I will say is, we've been banging this drum about players coming in, and we've all said we need a centre back, we need a different profile of 10, and we need a striker. The manager named them three positions today. He named them. He's actually come out and said it. We've had good news on Pascal, and he still said we need a centre back. And what really excites me is yesterday at the game, you had Parag, you had Angus, you had Peter Lowy, you had Greta Steinson. They were there. Why were they there? They were there to sign the checks, baby. These last 2 weeks now of the window are going to be good for Leeds United. Today is going to be good for you, because normally I've brought some of my setup down here, and hopefully what I'll try to do for the next videos, I'll bring the Wi-Fi in here and hopefully make it wide connection, which will make it a bit sweeter. I apologise if it is grainy. I'll try my best, but listen, we're doing it on the fly. You know what it's like. Let me have a look what it's like on it. It's it's a little bit grainy, isn't it? But hopefully that's all right. We can work through it. But yeah, look, for me, he basically said that. He basically said the three positions, didn't he? So happy days with that information. I know a lot of people might say, that we don't need them and all that sort of stuff. I disagree. And that's fine. Football's apart opinions. Don't worry, Matthew. I know the clock's wrong, bro. So I know people disagree on it's gone again, and I can see the Wi-Fi going up and down, man. I don't know what provider she uses, but it'll be getting changed. Don't you worry about that. I know some people don't say we need it, but obviously we could have done with Aronson coming off yesterday. We could have, we definitely need another striker because of Patrick Bamford's injury record. He said that we need a centre back, even though Strout's back. He'd be back in team training in a couple of days. He did say we still need a centre back. So it's amazing. It's amazing, isn't it? At the end of the day, Leeds United could end up by the window. And of course, I agree with what he's saying. If the right profile of player doesn't come available, then we're not going to move. And that's okay. I genuinely am okay with that, right? I genuinely am okay with that. But it means they are active. And the fact that the owners and the people that write the checks are there, that excites me. Oi, Bab says, Jet Washers Unite. Well, watch. I've got something for you, people. I've got something for you. I'm gonna share it with you. Hopefully you like it. My man Gav over at Back for Clothing has been working on a little design. So do you want me to share it with you? It's only in its infancy at this moment in time. But I better see you jet washers rocking this, if indeed we do go with it. One sec. I'm going to show it with you now. It's time. Hopefully you'll rock it. There you go. You can't make it out, can you? Let's have a look. So what it does say, After yet another week with no Leeds United transfer news, Joe decided to take action. Jet washers assemble. Hopefully, you like the look of that T-shirt. That should be coming soon enough. Let me take that off the screen now. I'm so out of sync not being able to like have my massive monitor and stuff. Someone's knocking at the door. Don't know who it is. Joe, don't do this to me right now. Don't do what? Don't do what to you? Let me just message my partner and let her know someone's knocking at the door. It's all a bit mad. Someone's knocking at the door. I don't know who's at the door. Who's at the door? Danny has already seen it. He had a sneak peek. Joe, if we beat Burnley Monday, the owners could turn to Farke and say have a 6-point gap to third place. I don't see it. Oh, they're really knocking. I ain't got much money right now, and that's a banger. I like it, man. I like it. So I hope you like it. I'll be rocking it as soon as it comes. Jet washers unite. Get on it. Right, so let's actually get into the presser. Somebody ringing the bell. Yeah, I don't know who's knocking at the door, love. We'll see now. Who's at the door? It's Hendrix's friend, which is my girlfriend's daughter. Okay, I thought it was a little note. Oh, the clock's got no batteries in, she said. That's why it's wrong. So she's been watching, so watch what you're saying, all right? Eh? Sorry? Oh, it's a job for me, apparently. It's a job for me to change the batteries in the clock. She doesn't know that I'm shit at DIY, does she? You folks who watch this channel regularly know I'm shit at DIY. So if someone wants to come and change the batteries in the clock, let me know. It's still moving, though. Oh, so she's chatting beans then, innit? She's just cats all the time. Right, okay, let's get into the precedent. So Farke on team news. Everyone came through yesterday without any problems whatsoever. I hope all players are available next Monday. I expect to have the same group available. What I will say, brilliant. Has she seen the shelf? Exactly. So what I will say, I think Daniel Farke was playing some sort of like skullduggery, I think, with what he was saying about Brendan and Solomon. Because they made it through last night's game, and now they're totally fine. So I just don't know if the knocks that they'd picked up were as bad as he first said, because obviously they're still okay, and Aronson played 90 minutes. So that's a bit of a mad one, isn't it? But everyone's fine. He was then asked about Pascal Struijk. He said a rescan was very good. The tendon is not involved. Happy days. He's already doing individual stuff outside, and he's perhaps going to be in team training in next week. So it looks good. So we might have him back, a couple of weeks. Jason says dangerous territory calling the misses out. I know, right? Joe's as bad at DIY as Mez is catching the ball. Love you, Joe. Love you too, mate. Love you too. Yeah, Joe and DIY does not mix. It definitely doesn't. It's not one of my strong points. Jason Taylor, who's been a member for 17 months, says, afternoon, everyone. Wi-Fi seriously needs sorting out at Ellen Road. Well, before I came live, I was thinking, oh, no, man, because even the presser started going like this, and I was thinking, oh, if it can't even watch the presser, it's not going to be able to me stream. But thankfully, yous were getting that as well. I know it keeps dipping in and getting a bit grainy. The Burnley game is going to be very tight with Melier to make the difference in a bad way. What I will say on that, obviously, the lads that ought to know better do a predictor. I've actually predicted 0-0. And I know people won't agree, but I'd take it. I think we will draw the game. Can we win? Yes. But I think we'll draw the game. And I've gone for 0-0. I don't think it'll be a great spectacle. 1 goal wins it, I think. It'll be one of them ones. But I've actually gone for 0-0 as my early prediction. Hola, I heard Chris Moyles talking about you this morning. Did he? Again? Oh, what a guy. Okay, what was he saying? Was it all positive? He's a regular watcher of the channel, of course. He's an absolute legend. And if he was talking about me again, Chris, if you're watching, thank you very much. He likes to contribute to the channel where he can as well. So legend. I'm greedy as well, Sean. I want the win. I don't want to not win. But I think it will be a draw. And I'm like righteous one. I'd take it. I'd take it. People are upset because Pascal isn't badly injured, so probably means we won't sign a centre-back. Weird fan base. That's incorrect, though, Yorkshireman, because if you listen to it, and I will go through it, he actually said, regardless of Struijk's injury, his he mentioned his and Voba's injury record means that we'll get a centre-back. One centre-back that it won't be is Andrew Omabamidele, though, because he's going to France. He's going to France. Isn't it interesting that on the day that Leeds United find out that they probably knew maybe the day before, it's the first time we're hearing, but maybe Andrew Omabamidele was waiting to hear on the strike news, or Leeds were waiting to move on the strike news. Because whoever comes in, he's going to have to be a backup centre-back. Whereas if he'd been out for 3 months, maybe Omabamidele becomes the first choice in there. Do you know what I mean? But now that's gone. And of course, Omabamidele's moving to France. We're going through it, mate. Strout's good. You haven't missed much. Strout's good. We're going to get to the juicy bits on the transfers very, very soon. But the main point is Strout's good. More on players. So he said every player would rather play than sit out. Obviously, we've seen a lot of rotation. That's another conversation. We'll have this on the final word tonight at 8 o'clock. How do we get Ramazani in? And it's not just taking Aronson out. Trust me, it's not, in my humble opinion. But he almost deserves more minutes. But how can he when Solomon's playing as good as he is? But he came on yesterday and he was just taking, pot shots and stuff and nearly scoring. He needs that little bit of X factor that maybe against Burnley you bring on, and he's the one that creates the goal. Big up to EView, of course, is on the post-match. And post-match have been doing really well. Big up. And make sure you go check out Discourse of the Peacock. More on players. So he said every player would rather play than sit out. We have to be a bit careful with players who are returning from long-term injuries. Bamford will be out for a couple more weeks, but apart from them two, we have all available, which is quite good for a busy January. So just Strout and Patrick out at the minute, but Strout will be in team training. And do you know what? Bamford could have played his last game for Leeds United because of what he said on the striker positions on Transfer News a little bit later on. I think Patrick Bamford could have well played his last game in a Leeds United shirt. He was asked about the pitch. He must have discussed the pitch in the post-match yesterday. He said it suits us more when the pitch is really top. I hope for the next home game it's in better condition. So he obviously wasn't happy with the pitch. He was then asked about Burnley. Don't worry, we get into the juicy transfer stuff. Hold tight, it's almost there. Let's discuss Burnley first of all. He says, I have the team top of the league playing one of the top teams. Overall, it's just one of 46 games. Burnley are a top side, one of the favourites to be promoted. Very experienced manager, especially at this level. He says they are ambitious and very strong in defending. It will be a complicated task, but we travel with confidence. All I would do is show them the performance at Ellen Road and say, if you replicate that, you could win the game. He was asked about the defensive record because he said that he must have said before the season started, I want to be the best defence in the league. And obviously someone put it to him that actually, you know what I mean, Burnley are. And he said, credit to Burnley, it's outstanding what they've done to have conceded such a small amount of goals at this stage of the season. He does say, we're ambitious to be better. And we've had a couple of clean sheets on the spin now. But he said, we're attacking minded. We score a lot of goals. Burnley do not. Remember, for goal scoring, creating chances, they are 20th in the league. That probably changed after scoring 5 against Basement, well as Plymouth, but I won't read too much into it. He says, even more important than the best defence is the best goal difference, which is what Leeds United have. He says, I know it's difficult to create chances and score goals against Burnley, but our offensive players have to be on fire on all cylinders. It's definitely something I'm looking at. Solid defensive behaviour will always be the basement in football for success. Titles, right? Attacking when you titles when you league titles. Some manager at some club across the Pennines said that. He said, we are on a good path. Second best defence. Best would be even better. You can't complain though, can you really? I would take being the second best defence in the league if we're top of the best attacking team in the league, which we are. Happy days, right? Anyway, Farke on the title race. He said, normally it's a league where it's pretty competitive and tight together. Leicester and Ipswich last season, it was extraordinary. They were miles away. Southampton had a great run. This can always happen. Many teams are involved in the fight for the best positions, and you never know what will happen in the upcoming weeks and months. What's important is you focus on yourselves. We've already made a big gap to position 7 or 5 and 6. We don't need to worry. I don't think any of us think that, we're not going to get in the playoffs. He said, we don't watch the table every day. We want to keep going. Adding the next important points, focused on the here and now. If you turn it into the crunch time period, the last 6 games, you look at what happens on other pitches. So when we get to the last 6, that's when you have a look. He said that last season as well. We just concentrate on what we do and what we can influence in a very difficult away game. The key important point Like that. If we beat Burnley, that's a 6-point gap on them. How confident are you going to be? You could class it as a 7-point gap with the goal difference. Genuinely, it's I know there's still a long way to go, but come on. That game on Monday, if you win it, it's massive. If we lose it, it's not that deep. If we draw, another game closer, but if you win it, it's massive. Absolutely massive. Right, Farke on the transfers. I want to shout out Isaac Johnson as well. Because Isaac Johnson from Leeds United Live asked some barnstorming questions. The question is the Messiah, the man we've been waiting for. You know what I mean? He's been throwing shade on Twitter, loving it, the way he's carrying himself on the old Twitter sphere on X. And he threw some top questions as well. So big up to Isaac. He's the new man in town. Right, okay. So on transfers and Pascal, he said it's good news that the tendon is not involved. I'm pretty pleased, but not relieved yet, because I have a little bit in my head about last season when the diagnosis was good and then he didn't make it. Doesn't mean that we'll fall asleep until the end of the transfer window. There are still a few positions where we can have a deeper look to improve the squad, which we will do in the upcoming days, which of course we saw yesterday. Peter Lowry, Greta Steinsted, Parag Marathi, Angus Kinnear, they're all here. He says, this diagnosis, we're a bit calmer, not with the need that we have to do something, but if there is someone out there to improve us, then we will. We're pretty calm and relaxed, but we'll have a look, okay? So expect movement. And he didn't just say one position, he said a few. Then he continued. Overall, we're sitting with a really good point average, top of the league, so it's difficult to improve this group, which we can all agree on. It's going to be difficult, right? It's fair to say when we analyse our squad, our long-term injuries like Ampadu, Gruev and Firpo are back right now, and they've had good minutes under their belt, so the necessity is clear. We can focus on a few positions. So we don't need to worry about them long-term injuries anymore. Gruev had good minutes, of course, yesterday. Firpo had good minutes yesterday. We know, you wouldn't think that Ampadu even got injured the way that he's come back and hit the ground running. The guy's a machine. Maybe Farke was right about them Welshmen, you know? So for me, that's good news. And what I will say, I could see Gruev starting away at Burnley and I could see Firpo. And you know what? I love Sam Byron, but Firpo's just that extra bit when he came on. And I cannot wait for the Solomon and Firpo connection to develop. Yeah, GDL, FDL. Anyway, moving on. He says, we can now focus on a few positions. Then he said, if there is a creative offensive player out there, like a number 10, it will be beneficial for this group. So he's aware. He is aware that Leeds United are missing a certain profile of 10, someone who is more creative than what Brendan gives us. Not a winger that can play in there, right? An actual number 10, yeah? Brendan is excellent in this position, which we can all agree, right? It's excellent. But we don't have someone like him in our group. Of course, we can have players who can play that role. Joel Pirro as a loose second striker, maybe wingers in this role. But they interpret it differently to a natural number 10. If there is a solution for a creative midfield player, it makes sense to stay awake, which tells us that Leeds United are definitely looking at a different profile in the number 10 position. And I think that there would be amazing, because yesterday, Brendan played 90 minutes, could have changed him. I wish we could have. He also went on to say, at the moment, we have two fit strikers, Joel Pirro, Matteo Joseph. It would be amazing to have Patrick Bamford available in full rhythm, but he's going to be out for 2 weeks more. And then if we're being realistic, and Farke will know this as well, he's not going to come back to his best. And he says, we will assess the centre-back and striker position. So target number 1, number 10, we'll also be looking at a centre-back and a striker. There, he said it. Patrick Bamford could have finally played his last game for Leeds United. Leeds United are looking at a striker. Maybe there was something in the striker that was at St. Gallen. Maybe there was something in it. He says the rule is quite clear. The quality has to be right. We won't just add a number. I, as a Leeds United fan, don't want him to just add a number. I don't. If the player's not right that's out there, I'm okay with it. But I'm actually so much better now that I know that they're actually looking. And Farke's done what Wilder did and says, I want these positions. He has caveated it, of course, and said they have to be the right. And I'm okay with that. We don't want the world as fans, right? A lot of us don't want the world. We're just saying Farke is echoing what a lot of fans, I know the Square Ball have been saying it, myself, Andrea Lockie, and other fans online as well. Just make sure. How can you make sure? By going to get a backup nine because Bamford's done. Joseph not quite ready yet. If Pirro got injured, genuinely, what then what? It's hard. So you have to have that in mind. An option in the 10. Farke clearly, and I know people say, well, he can play there. We shouldn't, at top of the league, with the money that we earned in the summer, have to go, well, he can do a job there. We should go and get one. 10. And centre-back. Because he basically said Strout's got injury problems, and we know Voba can't play more than 5 minutes, otherwise his knee balloons up. So it's good from the manager. And we saw Joshua Gulavogi there. My God, no thank you. Keep him to his 5 minutes at the end of games. But he says the quality has to be right. We won't just add a number. It has to be proper quality. Then the character has to fit the group. And the attitude has to be on the top level. And the third thing is the player affordable. They're three things that need to come together. He did say, we're not going to sign someone who's got loads of option. Who's going to give me the most money? That's what it could be, you know? And maybe that's a shot to Emi Buendia potentially. Who's going to give me the most money? We're not going to do that. He says, I can rule out, this is what he said, I can rule out if there is a player on the 31st of January, or as club has also agreed a transfer fee or loan fee with 4 clubs, and he chooses who pays the highest salary, I don't want that player. I want proper quality, determination, and players that are fully committed to what we want to achieve here at Leeds United. I like that. I like that. Exactly. This is the thing, isn't it? And I'm also a part of that. I also am a part of the discourse by doing content, by showing my emotions. But like you say, I'm now happy. He has put me at ease. He's put me at ease. And like you say, for the first time, it's nice to hear the manager say, I want these players. I want a 10. I want a striker. I want a centre-back. But they have to be right. If we go out and get a 10 and don't get a centre-back and striker, I'm okay now because clearly whoever they were going for, it wasn't the right man. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with that. You know, and then he was asked specifically by Cross on the 10 about different to Aronson, and he said it would be good to have different attributes. We'll be picky. There are boxes that have to be picked. But there's the case as well. He wants someone different to Brendan, which is what a lot of us have been saying for quite some time. I don't, Matt. I don't. I'm actually quite confident having heard the manager say that because I don't think he would say it. Farke doesn't like to be mugged. He genuinely doesn't like to be mugged. You know? He doesn't like to be mugged off. So I think this is also like handing it over to the board. The recruitment team were there yesterday. Yeah, they do, David, and they were all there yesterday. Let's be honest. Greta was there, Angus, Parag, Peter Lowy. There was loads of them all at the game. 100%. I love Brendan as well. You know, I'm a big fan of his. But we can't beast him. Evie was saying it yesterday. Agree with what Joe said. Said exactly the right thing. Some people would have us sign Ashley Barnes and be happy. Yeah, no, I don't want that as well. People, you know what's really frustrating is when you maybe retweet a tweet of Sheffield United signing a player and that, and people go, well, they won't get that. I never said that. You know, I think it's a case of they're signing. We need to be active. Now, I will relax now because the manager has told me not that they have to do anything to appease me, but it is important to have the fans on side, right? And a lot of fans will be appeased with that information that, you know what, Leeds are going to be active. Leeds are going to do business if the right player arrives. If we get 2 or 3, if we get 1 or 3, if we get all 3, that's it's like, get all 3, amazing window. Get 2, mid window. Get 1, okay window. Do you know what I mean? Like, no one ever wanted the world. No one wanted that. We just wanted to know that we were active. And the manager said that. And it backs up what we saw early, you know, yesterday with the game. The Wi-Fi's so bad, eh? My picture looks so bad. I do apologise. Yeah, it's Yeah, I do apologise. What I'll do is I've got a video at 6 o'clock. I've got a video at 6 o'clock. The White Rose Rivals is back, and also 8 o'clock we have the final word. Final word's going to be good. We can get into the game and also get into the transfer stuff. That'll be myself, Jack, Andrea, and Lockett, Leeds World Order, the LWO, and we're back at 6 o'clock as well, man. Nah, Michael, no, this is my girlfriend's. The Wi-Fi's a bit sketch, so I do apologise. And yeah, someone's just said, Danny's just texted me saying GoldenEye N64 graphics. It's looking bleak. I do apologise. I know it's not the greatest experience, but we're still here doing work. It does look rough, that, doesn't it? Bloody hell. It's like Lara Croft when she's got triangle tits back on PS1, man. Yeah, it's all mad. It's all mad. No worries, no worries, man. Yeah, so listen, stream at 6 o'clock, stream at 8 o'clock. Great news on the presser there. Absolutely fantastic. Leeds are getting players. Windows 95 vibes. Yeah, odd job. I do look like odd job, don't I? But with the internet being as bad as it is, I'd love to stay in chat. I do want to stay in chat, but listen, now let's get that centre back. Let's get that 10. Let's get that striker. I'm going to speak with the lads. Hopefully, we'll do a scouting report on them 3 positions over the next week or so. Triangle tits are we. Exactly. Listen, thanks as always for watching. Smash a like on the video. I'll see you back here at 6 for White Rose Rivals. There will be a redirect sent on over. It's about an hour. An hour away. Go on over, smash a like and join us. Because trust me, the White Rose Rivals, it's so underrated. It's a great show. And I'll see you over there. Thanks as always for watching. I'll see you in a bit.